Prototype is one of the most terrifying antagonists in all of Mascot horror history, and not because he is animalistic or scary looking, but because he is calm and collected. So grab your snacks, don't forget your Mountain Dew, and let's hop in. If you don't know who the Prototype is, you probably should leave. The Prototype is the main antagonist of Poppy Playtime, and we finally learned what he looks like.
There are the orphans.
What is happening? Why does he look like that? Okay, so not the most scary thing, but he is for sure ominous. I mean, dude, look at the size of him. Now, the Prototype is scary for a few reasons. First, he can mimic anybody's voice. That sounds familiar. He can literally change his voice to fit his needs. The second reason why he is terrifying is that he is quiet, for his size. Third, he can experiment on toys. And finally, he is extremely strong and smart. So let's dive into detail, shall we? Okay, so the Prototype can mimic voices. We know this because of our good friend Ollie. Ollie was someone who guided us throughout chapters 3 and 4 before revealing that he was the Prototype the entire time.
Shelf ventilation block B6. Is this where you are, Poppy? What?
And was just leading us, well, I don't know where he was leading us. Now we find out in chapter 5 that the Prototype actually was, or is, Ollie, I guess, but likely stopped using his own voice to separate himself from sounding like Ollie and more like the Prototype he is.
You don't get to call me that. Ollie's gone and I'm a test run. The Prototype.
And possibly to make him sound more menacing. He used the Ollie voice that we and Poppy heard in 3 and 4 to gain our trust, which already shows how scary he is. Now, how is this different from, say, the Mimic? Well, okay, the biggest difference is the Mimic is an AI and an animalistic AI that learned only to kill. The Prototype has intention. The Mimic is just a killing machine. We all know how large this dude is, right? But I feel like we're ignoring the fact that this dude has been with us the entire time, and we never hear or see any trace of him unless he wants to be seen. Now, you might assume that at the beginning he might have only been the hand, but that's not possible, as he clearly had legs a little bit after the Owl of Joy. So I think it's safe to assume that he's always had the legs. Anyway, we can talk more about his appearance later. We gotta stop and think about the sheer size of this dude for a second. We're talking about a massive, jagged, metallic skeleton with literal extra limbs sticking out of him. In any other game, a boss this big would be shaking the entire screen. What in the... But the Prototype? Nah, he's a master of the vents. He knows every single vent, every crawlspace, and every hidden floorboard of Playtime Co. better than the people who actually built the place. And that adds a whole new level of fear to this, because it means he isn't just watching us, he's waiting for us. He could have ended our entire journey back in chapter 1 if he wanted to, but he chose to let us play. Okay, so the Prototype can experiment on toys. Why is that important? Well, first, he can literally force anything that doesn't do what he wants, do what he wants. And not to mention, but I'm pretty sure that he created Lily Lovebraids, who looks like a real toy. Yeah, this is P-Man from the future. Playtime Co. actually had the parts already made. The Prototype basically just stitched them together and put Miss Gracie inside of it. He has multiple wrong side animals that he made that serve the Prototype because he made them. But he also can experiment on himself. We see that he has built-in 3 arms and catnap smoke dispenser thing on him. Not gonna lie, I don't know what those arms are for. I hope he gets rid of them. They definitely make his appearance less intimidating. And in addition to him experimenting on himself, he is also immortal, because he consumes large amounts of poppy gel. This essentially makes him the god of the factory. And still, the fact that he can create toys shows that he probably could create something much scarier. Maybe built on himself or on another toy. Now, my final point is he is just strong and smart. What does that mean? It means he's strong and smart. The Prototype can literally break through metal and concrete, but then can be quieter than a freaking mouse.
I called it again!
He is also smart, considering he knows how to control and intimidate, using his voice, not as much his appearance. He's also smart because he knows how to manipulate. He's smart because he caused an entire toy uprising, which caused almost, if not all, employees to be brutally killed. This shows that he is unbelievably intelligent. The only other characters we've seen control a whole army is Bendy, and his army is full of brainless blobs. The searchers in Bendy just follow the Ink Demon because they're scared or mindless, but the Prototype's followers like Catnap actually worship him. He built a religion. He convinced an entire floor of toys that he was their savior. When you compare that to characters like Freddy Fazbear, who can't even leave the building, the prototype is on a whole nother level. But based on storyline logic, we have to win. So how will we win? Perhaps we use the so-called negation formula. Or will the prototype defeat us and break storyline logic because, as you have seen, he is way too powerful? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. This is foreshadowing, okay? This is just saying that we're gonna deal with her even more because her hair is gonna grow longer and try to kill us. I might be wrong. Oh my goodness, guys.